Actually, when all this program was being discussed with many meetings, Google Meet with here and India, and when it came to take the topics, Namrata was behind me every day. Please tell a topic. So I am very bad at giving topics. I cannot find topics for me. So I just, what comes to my heart, I say. So then she only suggested that let it be in conversation with Ma. I said, oh, that's good. So anyway, anything can be talked. But today when we were just going through today's program, and Swamiji, despite his health, he said that he'll be from the beginning and he will talk first. We were thinking that he can come in later and talk. Then he was going through the sheet and said, what is this topic? In conversation with Ma, what will you talk? So I said, okay, whatever I talk, I will talk. So now the question is, all of us are supposed to give you orientation for the retreat. In the sheet it is written. So we have to orient you. I think both Swamiji and Nutan Swamiji have very nicely oriented you. I have nothing much to say.
Before you proceed, I have a question. The topic means that they should talk to you. Conversation with Ma. Ma should only reply.
So we'll see how it goes. If they have questions, yesterday in my session, nobody asked question. But surely you can come, or you can ask any question to me, and very freely. I'll try to give replies to everybody, whatever I know. Now, this orientation, about this orientation and retreat, I think this, I feel that all of you are very blessed to be in the retreat. As you know, in Shankaracharya says that three things are very rare. One is the human body. Second is the yearning for liberation. And the third is the loving care and association with the Mahapurusha. So when we are in a smaller group, it is better. When we sit in a hall and and just listen to the lectures and go away, or nowadays through the screen we are hearing. It is much better in a retreat like this, where you are closely sitting. And I think that way this hall is very good. I don't know what is the hall like tomorrow. We are sitting very closely, so it gives a very nice touch. But the benefit of retreat will definitely be only when you are focused and you feel in these 3-4 days, you will try to absorb as much as you can, ask questions very freely, and try to get the replies, and then try to apply it in your life. I feel that when I started my journey on this path, I was about 23. So I first started reading the Bhagavad Gita. I don't think I was understanding anything, but I thought that I must read it. So Sanskrit shlokas with the translations. And right in the second chapter, a few slokas, it really set me thinking. Like the sloka where the Sita Prajna Darshana is there. It says that Dukkeshu anidvigna manaha sukheshu vigataspriyaha vidiraga bhaya krodhaha sitadhir muniruchyate. So I did not understand and did not have any idea that a Jivan Mukta will have these qualities and how he is. I had not till that time, I had not met a self-realized person. Even Baba I had not met. Swamiji I had not met. But it set me thinking that, Krishna is telling Arjuna that a person can be like this. So what is this dukkeshu anudvigna manaha? That in very dukkha or unhappiness or sorrow, one can remain still, not depressed. And sukheshu vigatas priyaha. And doesn't one always look for sukha? Vita raga bhaya krodha. And one can go beyond this attraction, repulsion, fear, etc. So, if that can be done, I have read the scriptures from that very beginning and later on, whatever these kind of things, and even in other scriptures, I felt, oh, can I be like this? Can I be like this? That was the inspiration. So, and I felt that how I can become like this. And then in the second chapter itself, all of you know the sloka, vihaya kaman yassarvan pumam charati nispriha nirmamo nirahankaraha sa shanti madhigacchati. So shanti madhigacchati. Oh, one gets shanti, peace. So, though I was young, I did not have anything to say that I was having any kind of sorrow or affliction, like anything majorly. But the feeling that mind becomes calm and it does not even have the fears, anxieties or anything like that. Mind becomes very, very peaceful. What is that kind of a shanti one can attain? So that kind of a feeling, and a feeling that, oh, one can become like this. And what is this sloka saying? That if somebody can, one has, got rid of all the desires, vihaya kaman, yes, sarvan, all the desires, if one can get rid of, and one can become egoless, and the feeling of mindness is not there, then one will be having this kind of shanti. So that how one can become desireless? What does it mean by desireless? We always work with desire. So what is that? So this kind of questions, and for me, I would say, even at that time, I was so young, and then I've lived my life. It was a question of life and death. I must know it. I must know it. And I'm prepared to do anything for it, to get to that state. Then the sixth chapter, yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha yasmin sthito na dukkhena guruna api vichalyate. That one can attain that state, that inner state, attaining which, you will feel that there is nothing more to be attained. And while in that state, even if there is the biggest adversity which befalls you, you will not be affected at all. Oh, such a state is there. And Krishna is telling Arjuna, a human being, and he in the battlefield is absorbing that knowledge, and then he is able to do what is necessary. So in the beginning, when I was reading, these things had greatly impacted me. And then my life, in spiritual life, my journey, I was always feeling that I understood in my association with Baba first and then at the feet of Swamiji, that to be able to attain this, one has to become pure in the mind and intelligence. And to be pure in the mind and intelligence, one must be very introspective. One must have good qualities. I think that is what Swamiji was also saying. You have to see how you can absorb the knowledge, not only absorb, assimilate the knowledge, and then the knowledge becomes yours, and you are then able to apply the knowledge in your life. But I should tell you that though I'm saying all these things, or even all of us are saying like this, it's not that we every day say that we have done the Buddhi Yoga, we have done the Karma Yoga, we have done this, we have done that. So ultimately it is what? That was the question. As I was telling you yesterday, my spiritual journey, I have lived in the household also, then I joined the ashram, and it's nearly 40 years now that I am at the feet of Pujya Swamiji. And through listening, through studying, through doing lot of work with two hands, which many things I was not used to, which I had to do, and while I did not know how to do, learning how to do, and having that attitude in mind, that whatever comes, I will be doing happily. This kind of turn of, attitude, which only through the knowledge, since it's the Bhagavad Gita Retreat, it's not that through Bhagavad Gita alone I have learned this. Through all the scriptures, it is only an attitude, a spiritual attitude, a transformation of the mind and intelligence that helped. And it always was in my mind that when we listen to all these things, we feel very, very, sometimes transported to the greater heights, the loftier heights. We feel so inspired. We feel so divine. When we do some worship, we chant, we read, and we understand. Then the intelligence, it gets so much of contentment and fulfillment. There is a divinity which surrounds us at that time. And when we get up from there and start doing our usual, regular daily work, that kind of mind is not there anymore. So that I used to always think that why it is like this, why it is like this, how to have divinity at all moments. How we can have divinity at all moments. How we can never forget that I am a seeker. Our problem is that though we want to seek and we are very much interested in seeking, listening, maybe practicing, we don't remember that I am a seeker first and then everything comes. Our first identity should be that I am a seeker of truth. That identity, and not forgetting that, how will it be? How will I be always surrounded by that kind of a divine feeling? Always in the presence, always, having that presence around me. That was my one question and one inquiry always. And I think that as my pursuit went, my journey went, I have been very, very blessed to be guided by Swamiji through whatever, very, living at the feet of the Master, so many things. You are very free to go and ask him. That is why I say that you must ask questions. The question should be such. If you are a real seeker, you cannot stop asking that why is it that I am not progressing? I think for a long time, when I was in the ashram, in the beginning, I used to tell Swamiji that I'm practicing, but why is it that I am not realizing the self? And then Swamiji would explain so many things. But one day he told me that I'm telling you, you don't have to do anything. You just be natural. Don't chant, don't read, don't do anything. Just move about like a 12-year-old girl, serve everybody, love everybody, and do whatever comes your way. So don't do anything. And he said that I'm your guru. If I'm telling you this, you must do it. That commitment to do. I did not understand first What is this, don't do anything? I have to do so much domestic work. Yesterday I was telling you so much of domestic work I had to do, which I did not know. Cooking in firewood oven, or trying to always do so many other things which I was not used to. Heavy work. But this don't do anything, I am having to do all the work. But what is that not to do anything means what? That he was actually giving me the training or the guidance to go inside me, to have the experience of a non-doership, non-enjoyership through all work. And wherever I failed, pointing out and telling. And then these scriptures, whatever every day satsang takes place there at night, whatever Swamiji has been taking Bhagavad Gita with us so many. He will finish once, again, and so many times we have done. And as you know, he is a treasure house of all the scriptures. He has taught us many shlokas. And those shlokas are not, he has never taught us shlokas just to learn them, just to chant them. He has taught for us to learn, not only chant, but to reflect upon them and to apply in our lives so that our lives become absolutely unaffected, fearless, full of confidence and hope. This is what we have done. So in the retreat, if I would say I don't know what orientation in the conversation of what I would like do tomorrow, you can ask me questions, I'll tell you something. But definitely what I want to do is, I find that all the devotees or the whoever come to meet me separately, or I find that there is one difficulty everybody has, is this difficulty that a separation between devotional or spiritual life and the other life, the worldly life. So how the whole life can become spiritual, become devotional, how every work, whether you like it or dislike it, can become a spiritual work or with a spiritual attitude. How every behavior can be like that, every thought can be that, and how always you can live in the connection with your own inner self and the self, the universal self. I think that has been my own journey, and I will be through Bhagavad Gita trying to tell you what I have learned from Swamiji and my own sadhana. This is what I can do. But for that, I really wish that all of you will be focused, and as Nuthan Swamiji was saying, that we'll see just now, after everything is over, please reflect over it. And even if you have not taken notes, write out some notes while going back home. Whatever has struck you, what you can follow, and try to understand why you are not able to make it into a practice. Many of you are practicing. What are your problems? You will not get an opportunity like this. One thing is that Swamiji is approachable and we are also very approachable. So you should come up with your problems in your practices. That is what I would like to say. And in this practice, if I say, one should be very dedicated, even if you are in household. Your one aim, everybody has lot of responsibilities, duties, problems. In the household, there will be lot of problems. But there should be one aim, that through all this, I will be only enriched. I'll be enriched and I will never allow my mind to get depressed. I will see how whatever situation has come, from that I benefit. And through that situation, I should be closer to God or myself. This one aim, if we can keep in mind, then every work will be a happy work. From everything you will get joy. Generally we do something thinking that doing this I will get joy. I will go to some party, or we'll go sightseeing, we'll get joy. Or we will meet friends, we will get joy. It's not that. Doing everything, whether you like it or not like it, you should feel an expanse in the mind. This is what one aim should be kept in mind. So I think I don't have to talk anymore, but one more thing I would say, that is, looking at when Swamiji was speaking, and as we started, I felt very happy seeing so many people are there, and felt that so many are thirsty for the knowledge. And I also feel so many are there who would like to practice it, progress, but find the difficulties in the household life or professional life obstructing. They do not know how to cross that and go forward. So I was thinking that even in such a crowd, you will all not have the benefit of, coming close and asking your problems. What are the problems? Why the mind is not restful? Why the mind is not peaceful? Why one is not being fulfilled by what is the life, whatever you are getting in life? Why the mind remains anxious, fearful? So if it is only a very close connection if you have, and you feel free to tell everything, which we find that people are very freely, when they came very close, they freely tell us. So then only we can help in the mind. Otherwise, even this kind of retreat remains just listening, and it will not give you that much of benefit unless you think over it and bring up questions. Some questions you can generally ask, definitely. And later on, if you feel that you want to ask questions, you can write to us, and Swamiji always gives replies. When I was also feeling that, looking at you, in my life, I did not have this kind of opportunity to have this kind of retreats or anything, but definitely from the time I came to know Baba, I've been going to Baba very often, though he was not, Swamiji's Gurudev, he was not talking so much like Swamiji. He was very quiet. He would, if you ask something, he would reply, that too in a story, you have to find out what he meant. But even at very old age, he had such sharp memory, and he was so learned. He would say, if you ask something, we would say, go down. So he was on upstairs room. Go down, go to my library, in this shelf, in this bookshelf, see from the top, the third shelf, and from the left-hand side to this book, open it, take it out, open it, this page, I have written a comment. This is your reply. He used to say like that. So I was thinking that you are so fortunate enough, and after, when Baba attained Mahasamadhi, just before that, he handed over my spiritual welfare to Swamiji, and then I used to write. Swamiji told me I had to write to him every 2 weeks. So those were not days of email and all that. So post and telegraph would take some time. But whenever I would write, and within 7 days I used to get a reply. So then from a distance, he exposed me to many things and guided, and then slowly I came. And also, since we were in Kharagpur, IIT, Jamshedpur is 2 hours journey. So when Swamiji used to go to Jamshedpur, every year we would go and meet him, talk to him, ask him questions. And why I am telling all this is that I would listen whatever Swamiji would say, or even the lecture. At that, I have written some spiritual diaries. So later on, I would write down what Swamiji had told, what specific questions I had asked him, and what was his reply. And see, for us, it was not YouTube that you can repeatedly listen. So how will we gain the knowledge? That is why I am saying that one must have that feeling that if you are a seeker, it is for you life and death to know it. How to make this life, not to become a sannyasin like us, how to make this life beautiful. Beautiful, as Swamiji said, glorious, beautiful, peaceful, loving, expansive. It should be a life and death question for everybody. And you should be ready to do that. If I look back, I find that I was always inspired to, always thinking how to become like that. So this is listening and retreat. It will only have benefit if you have this aim that I want to become like that. That becoming will not happen in one day, but it will happen. You should love this path first. Love it, love it. That much I can tell.